doing.
Yeah, excited to hear his journey as well and see what we have in common, what he's doing differently than us. So, all right, let's welcome Gavin here. So we've got Gavin joining us here from AverageBOB. Gavin, welcome. Pleasure to have you here. You are our first guest. That should be a very special token for you to have.
Thank you, guys.
Some exciting stuff.
Yeah. How you guys doing?
We are good. Tell us, where are you joining us from?
From Johannesburg, South Africa.
All right.
Wow.
And you've got some electricity issues that were happening. What's going on? Fill us in.
Constantly. Yeah, and unfortunately, our government can't keep the lights on. So we get like 2-hour breaks in any given day.
Wow.
Where certain areas are off. So subsequently, mine was off just before the show, and they were running a bit late. So it was like cutting it close.
Yeah, well, glad you can make it, and if you end up dropping out, we understand, but we'll try and take advantage of your presence while we have you here. So tell us a little bit about you, how you got into NFTs, and then we can get into AverageBOB after.
Oh, awesome. Thanks. My name's Gavin, real name, believe it or not, real face as well. I think it's far in between in this space. But yeah, I got into NFTs because, I don't know, I suppose I liked wasting money in the beginning. Paying $50 per transaction fee and not knowing any better.
Yep. We talked about that last week. We were, feeling good if it was under $100. We're like, all right, that's a steal.
Yeah, absolutely. And it didn't pay off, I think, in the end. Those NFTs became worth nothing, I suppose, or compared to the transaction fees you put into it. But yeah, I just heard the word NFT, and I had a friend that was harassing me saying that, NFTs are the worst thing ever. It's going to ruin the industry for gaming. I was like, okay, I got to go check that out,
Yeah.
And ended up buying some JPEGs. And then, well, here we are, I suppose. Got involved in a few rugs, way too many. And then you realize that put your money where your mouth is, I suppose. I'd rather invest in my own project, my own time, and know exactly where it's going, and that I'm not going to rug kind of thing.
Yeah,
and
that's a great attitude.
That's where we are at. So are you the artist? It's you yourself are the one drawing everything?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I feel you, don't worry.
Yeah, it becomes a bit it's fun, absolutely, but when you're trying to get something that's in your mind onto not even paper, onto a digital screen, it doesn't always quite work. You go through like 10 different drafts and eventually get to something that's presentable according to my standards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do the same. So it takes me forever. I start drawing, and then all of a sudden I'm like, no, this doesn't work, let me get rid of it. And then I start again. Doesn't work, let me get rid of it. Start again, doesn't work, let me get rid of it. Like at least
eventually
10 times
go back
before
to the first one.
Yeah. Usually the first one is the one that works. Yeah.
Correct.
So that's good.
Correct.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So Gavin, what's the inspiration behind the drawing style that you have there?
Well, I must be honest, the real inspiration was 9 to 5. I mean, like, I'm sure most of us here, most of us are, watching as well. We all participate in the NFT journey, and we spend our hard-earned cash on NFTs, and it's always these, forgive me, but it's like these degen-y kind of apes, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And I wanted something that would really celebrate the uniqueness of everyone that grinds the 9 to 5. And that's where sort of AverageBOB came about, is that, we're all the average Bob, but we're all unique at the same time. And yeah, that just grew from that. No real inspiration other than doodle.
Yeah, very cool. And you have a co-founder, is that right? There's someone else at the top with
you? Correct. Dylan, he commented earlier. Yeah, he's there we go.
There he is.
Yeah, he's my cousin, my best friend for life, and every time I try to do something stupid, it's Dylan.
So you talk to
your co-pilot.
Yeah.
Correct. And he steers me along most of the time and keeps me motivated and tells me, no, you do this, do that.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's great. You need that cheerleader. Yeah.
Accountability, I think, as well. I think it's a very crucial point.
Yeah, I think probably Miguel and I feel that too, right? We're constantly sharing our updates with each other, the little steps we're taking behind the scene every day, right? We're texting each other all day. I think I text Miguel more than my wife at this point.
Well, I mean, you guys know how it is. You get lazy at home. You had a bad day, and then you forgot to do that tweet. So
Yep.
Dylan will be like,
Yeah,
"Hey,
yeah.
Gavin, have you done the tweet?" I'm like, "Oh, cool, okay, sure, I'll get onto it." So you need that push sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
very
you
true.
shared when you and I spoke a few minutes before the show. You shared you had a 6-month-old. Is that right?
Yes, yes. I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate yet. It depends on the hour.
It's fortunate, trust me. So how do you
Absolutely.
manage the family with whatever your job is with launching this project? How do you juggle all that?
You just do, I suppose. I'm very fortunate. I think my wife keeps my head above water most times. She's actually the star of the show, and I think without her, I just really wouldn't be able to do it. And with him, I think that's also another reason why I'm doing the project. To start something, a brand or something for him that we can eventually build onto. And we've got some interesting things lined up that sort of includes him, but I can't give away too much.
Oh, interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. So let's
Uh,
talk a little bit about how you started your core project, right? So how did you start everything from the beginning? What made you go into Discord, Twitter? I saw you on IG today. Walk us through
Okay.
that project.
Well, I think the main thing that I sort of started out with was learning the back end. Between myself and Dylan, we've got a bit of back end coding, and not the best, and certainly definitely not when it comes to Web3 technologies. So we sort of had to
yeah.
learn a bit as well. But then it really came down to working out that fundamental. Because I mean, in all fairness, the artwork is easy, the Twitter is easy, the Discord's easy. It's getting a professional, good-looking, back end that does the minting the way you want it to. So I mean, Bueno, I think, is where we all sort of met, and having Bueno, which in general is just a great resource. That's really where we started off with. From that, then we started swearing out towards the Discord and so forth. With the real core behind that, Discord, I think it was more of a DGen kind of thing. Every project has Discord, so like, let's jump on the Discord bandwagon. And then the Twitter, the Instagram. But I must say, with doing everything, like everything that every project has, we've learned so much from it.
Right.
And it's that adapting through it, because you watch YouTube videos about people telling you how to do a NFT project or whatever the case. I'm sure we've all been there. We've all
Oh,
been
yeah.
A lot of YouTube videos.
A lot of YouTube, absolutely. There's always this thing about you've got to adapt to the market, because one week the market is Twitter and the next week the market is Instagram. I thought it was just nonsense. I mean, how could the industry work that way? And I can't even tell you that each week is a roller coaster. I think you guys would be able to explain that better than me.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it definitely is a roller coaster each week.
for sure.
What are some of the things that you've done in your Discord to help grow it? Because you have a pretty good member group there, right? You have over 600 members in there. So what can you share with us as a group of guys who are trying to grow our Discord as well? And what's worked, what hasn't worked?
Before you answer that question, I just got to say your Discord is phenomenal. Like the engagement in there, and I don't know how you did it. It was because I can't keep up with Discord. I just can't.
Oh, you know what? I wish I had an answer for that last question, but it really comes down to Dylan, Mike, and DeFi Man, the gents that have commented here already. Without them and many other great, amazing, not even members, have become more like family. It really just wouldn't be what it is. It would be a ghost town, if I could say that. But coming back to the first question with Discord, I first went on the whole approach of collab managers, and I'm going to play it straight here. Unfortunately, the market is the way it is, and I'm probably going to upset a few people. It comes down to Virtual Fisher. I'll get back to that point. The market on Discord as a whole is just unfortunately dead. It really is. I've spoken to plenty founders as it is, Collabs, the usual collab of posting and fishing for whitelists, that system doesn't work no more. Which has got a combination of various reasons, which I don't necessarily want to bore everyone with, but it is just dead. So we've really punted a lot of collabs. And I think if I look at the figures now, it was about 1,200 collabs that were sent out.
Wow.
And we've really only produced, I think, about 1,800 invites that were actually accepted. But we're sitting with about 600 members. And that's after we've purged the members as well. Inactive bots, those kind of things. So we're really sitting down to the core nitty-gritty of active members, but not necessarily participating members. But we've tried collabs in the sense of just sending out a template. We've tried, various sort of competitions, through games and stuff. But I think it really came down to, poker games definitely helped.
Yeah.
It came down to me sniping a few of our amazing members from a rugged server and offering some great utility. And then at the same time, it really, I can't give you a simple kind of solution to it, because in my opinion, in my views, Discord in the NFT world now is more seen as a utility than a means of marketing. And you see a lot of projects moving forward to rather giving access to a Discord if you're a holder. And that's sort of steering it. The likes of Utes, there was another one, the Rat Trap. I don't know if I'm allowed to name these guys, but we'll find out, I suppose.
Name drop.
Name drop, yeah. They never opened a general. There was no general chats. They were able to sell out a collection with just having a notice board on their Discord.
Wow.
And that just seems to be the way that they're moving, or we should be moving, I should say that, because there is no engagement. I just want to quickly, before the next question, touch on the Virtual Fisher. It is a game on Discord that has taken some of our members and turned them into Virtual Fisher aholics. That all they do all day, and I don't know if they work actually, but all they do is fish now. So it's a utility on its own.
Yeah. What is the benefit of fishing? Is there some coin behind it? Is there some prize?
Absolutely nothing. Euphoria.
I gotta say, I've seen some of the comments on your Discord about it, and it's interesting for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, I know exactly who it's aimed at. There's 3 specific people, and we need to call an intervention soon.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's good. And what have you done to work on your Twitter presence?
Well, Twitter definitely is a good one at most times. I've seen that posts really don't bring much engagement unless it's from your own community. There's no such thing as, scrolling through Twitter. I mean, we can speak for ourselves. Finding a cool project and clicking it just doesn't work that way no more.
That's how I got rug. That was my first rug, was just finding something on, somebody posted on Twitter, and I said, "Oh, this looks interesting." Got rugs.
Yeah, exactly that. And the thing is, Twitter engagement on its own, if there's, I always say it in my personal capacity, I'm just saying, if I see it's catchy, it's got some great artwork and a video that is just mesmerizing, it's going to take my money and run. I'm more interested now in the personal engagement. I want to say the indie projects where you can actually have their personal engagement with the founders. So
right.
It's always switching. Twitter Spaces are definitely the way to go. You find a lot more engagement from other projects, and I find that it's a lot of projects that are kind of supporting each other, but at the same time they're bringing their valuable members and investors, if you will, with them. So Twitter Spaces is definitely the way to go. Tweets, I don't know. I haven't found the magic key yet.
Yeah, that's interesting. We haven't tried Twitter Spaces yet. We've talked about it, whether it's starting or joining. What's been your experience? Are you hosting a Twitter Space and just waiting for people to come in, or you're joining others and shilling from there?
It depends on how much time you have. If you have time to really waste and you can spend 3-4 hours on Twitter, then host yourself. you'll find that people will eventually start coming in after like half an hour of banter, I suppose. Joining other people's definitely works. But the problem is that you wait sometimes 2-3 hours to actually get to the speaker panel, especially with the bigger
Right.
uh, bigger spaces. So you just got to find time, I suppose, whilst you're cooking dinner, jump on a Twitter space and wait for your name to be called.
Yeah.
But yeah, good engagement there.
So let's talk about your future with AverageBOB. What do you see AverageBOB doing in the upcoming months?
Lots. So yeah, we currently we were going to launch we had 1,100 average bobs that we were going to launch now. The hope was the end of November. We've sort of delayed that. We took a bit of a different approach. The intention was that we were going to have 5 main mints. It would be each of the characters for a story that we're going to tell. From those 5 main mints, in between each mint, we would add a secondary character. So in this case, after our Bob mint, it was going to be our average goldfish. However, we've moved the average goldfish forward as a bit of a incentive, to get people engaged and hopefully shill our project, I suppose. But that is a free mint of itself. 555 awesome goldfish drawn by yours truly. They're not very average. Some of them are weird and wonderful, I suppose. But basically from that, we're going to move to our main character, which is AverageBOB himself. AverageBOB is actually the main character in an animation, a satire animation that we're going to be launching. And each character of each mint is basically going to feature in the next episodes. So the long-term goal is we're going to have a great satire animation show, much like Family Guy or, I don't want to say F is for Family, a bit older, but something like that, where we can pick on everyone's stereotype and absolutely have a ball.
That's great.
That's the end goal. Yeah.
And when you talk about an animated show, I mean, that's different than drawing NFT art. Is that something that you're going to tackle as well, or do you need to expand your team to work on animation at that scale?
Bit of both. I still want to be in control. I don't know if that sounds too narcissistic, but nobody gives the same. Nobody gives the same level of attention and love and care than myself, my own project. If that makes sense.
Of course.
But I do wish to expand. But the idea is essentially to allow our holders. So we really ideally want holders that are artists, or sound engineers, or graphics designers, if you will, and basically include them in this whole episode by episode, I should say. And then through that, use the taboo word of utility in royalties. That is essentially what we want to do. If the case is not met through our holders themselves, we'll obviously outsource. But the drawing itself, I'll be doing for the most part when it comes to the characters. And we're looking at outsourcing the backgrounds and, the sort of sets around the characters. Yeah.
Really interesting. How did you end up at 1,111 as the number?
So there was an idea behind it. Essentially, the 5th collection, which will be our background casting and so forth. The guy next door that your main character speaks to once every 2 months. That's sort of where that collection will ultimately come down to. But that collection will be about 10,000. We want to flood as many characters as possible that we can use in future shows, basically at a very kind of low price, and then we sort of work back from that. So basically halving each time, and then eventually we got to 1,000 number, but the number didn't look right, so I just kind of rounded it off, and we got to 1111, I suppose.
Yeah.
Lucky numbers.
Yeah, and it's D-Jenny,
Yeah, pretty cool stuff, man. I really like your project. I think that your project is definitely going to take off. Just looking forward to your future. I think it's great art. It was when you put out the Joker Bob, I thought it was phenomenal. Let me tell you.
Oh.
I think I said something on on Discord about it. I thought it was fire. It was really
Fire,
cool.
yeah.
But so
That
when
is my favorite.
I did notice that on your Discord you have the OGs on there since the beginning, I guess.
Correct.
So do you usually create a bot for them? Is that what you do?
So the OGs, that was sort of one of the things that developed, because we try to keep the project as fluid as possible. You know what, the founders kind of take the call of the members, if you will. That's sort of the idea that we're going with. And there was a bit of a call to create custom AverageBOBs. And then it became this pendulum that swung back, and then everyone wanted their own custom Bob. And I said, you know, what's the point of having OGs if there's no benefit to them? So we actually started creating OG Bobs for the OGs. And we started dropping them, I think, this week. And we actually dropped your guys's as well. We got a Rebel Ant going there.
You did.
But yeah, so that will form part of the collection. And later on, when we've got our own streaming service up, the OG will basically give you more benefits to that streaming service.
So yeah, that's cool. Pretty cool stuff. I'm really looking forward to seeing how your project develops in the future, and hopefully we can have more conversations like this and see how the audience can see how you've grown from today till maybe a year from now. Who knows?
Right. YouTube is forever, right?
Yeah, forever. That's
right. Face is there.
What have been some of your biggest challenges so far? Where maybe things didn't go as planned, whether it was doing the minting or like setting up the minting process on the back end or the website, or just any challenges that you've run into so far.
I think the biggest challenge would be the market as a whole. I mean, we all live in our own sort of bubble and have our own, expectations. And sitting outside of a founder's role, buying NFTs, you don't see as much because you're limited by your own pocket. You sort of get going. But coming into this founder's role, you realize how quickly the market is extremely different from what perception you had in your own mind. So that was one downfall, that I had to change my mindset, that the market doesn't work the way I thought it did. The other big thing was getting interest. I'm sure many people sort of have their taste in when it comes to what NFTs they're interested in. So, throwing out art doesn't really help. You really need to engage with people.
Right.
Finding the time specifically to engage with people, that has been somewhat challenging, because you've got, your normal life to do. And then the marketing itself. I'm not some marketing guru, unfortunately. I wish I was, but trying to find the right words, the right time, can be a bit difficult, because how do you come up with, besides being creative and drawing all these unique kind of characters, how do you find creativity when you're so exhausted mentally from that creativity in developing catchy kind of phrases within your marketing itself? So it eventually kind of gets a bit much. But I would say that's pretty much it when it comes to challenges. But you got to push through.
Yeah.
Like, you really just have to, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because each one of those areas that you've mentioned is their own world, right? It's their own business. They're professionals who specialize in just that thing. And here we are all trying to do all of it at once, right? We're trying to be the technical, the artist, the producer, the marketer, every part of it. And
many hats.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully, we grow at all of those stages, right? Hopefully it's not a fail and stumble and crash and burn. We get better at all those things over time, especially as we get momentum.
Fire by trial, right? Or trial by fire. Whichever way it goes.
Yeah, that's kind of the premise of our entire shtick here. Is we don't know what we're doing. We're going from 0 up to hopefully 10,000. I guess is the scale we want to get to, right? So how do we do that?
Like, just make the disclaimer now. All three of us are, yeah. I have no idea what I'm doing most times.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Without YouTube videos and tutorials, we certainly wouldn't be where we are today.
Absolutely.
And in reality, like I wanted to really showcase how something like this can be started, right? Because when I first started, it was the same as you. Like I was watching YouTube videos, we were talking to people and we couldn't figure out how to start, right? So part of the reason why we want to do this is to see if anybody out there, artists, people like us, want to start again, so that they have some sort of platform, some sort of beginning, so that they know where to start. And that's the reason why we want to showcase, artists like you. Hopefully we get more of this from other artists out there that can, reach out to us, and we'll have some more one-on-ones like this, and let us know how they started and their beginnings, so that other people can learn from it too. Because I think the NFT world is a huge, gigantic space that right now we're just at the beginning baby steps of, right? We haven't even touched what the potential can be for NFTs. And I'm hoping that we can be part of that mentality of, hey, anybody can do it. Like your average Bobs can definitely do it. You know what I mean? So that's basically why we started this. And we really want to make sure that we put that out there, that we really want the little artists out there to shine, and ensure that they're doing whatever they can and learn from us, so that they can start their own projects.
Absolutely love it. And I think, sorry, just to add comment to that, I think what will really be interesting is to see how it develops. I'm honored to be the first. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. But the next artist or founder that you have on, it'll really be nice to see, because we all sit in the same boat. We all sit with the same issues and challenges. It'll be nice to see the progression of how the industry moves forward. Because we absolutely, the last 2 years or so, I don't even think that was the beginning of NFTs. I think that was just, the real start. But I would say now, through this bear market and us getting out of it, that is really the beginning of what NFTs will become. Us in the next 5 years, if we stick through it.
Yeah.
We're going to be the OGs, right?
That's right. And I think some of the other projects who don't have the same dedication or focus as us will drop off, right? And no one's going to really buy into a dead project. So I think it's a matter of who can survive this and who has the determination to keep going. And so I'd like to think that all of us are in it for the long haul that are here right now, right?
Oh, for sure. I've put way too much time and effort into these OG Bobs that needs to give up.
We did too. So what are some of your favorite projects out there right now?
My favorite projects. Oh, okay. I have to get my favorite list out. Firstly, I must say PixelCanz. I'm not too sure if you're aware of them. Also using Bueno. I've really become really close with the founder, if I could say that. We text each other all the time. I love his concept now, and because I've got a bit of insider information, what's coming, that's what's really getting me excited. So PixelCanz for sure. Then Rebel Ants, come on.
Good answer.
On the show. But absolutely Rebel Ants. I have to do my whitelist today. I've got it recorded now. So you guys can, hunt me down if I don't do it. I will go get my Rebel Ants. I'm excited to see what you guys are doing, especially with this platform. I think it's amazing. And I really think it gives not just founders some hope, but actual collectors some hope when seeing, the face of a founder. Because doxing doesn't even work nowadays. Let's just be honest. So this is a bit more of a personal forum, which I'm really proud to be a part of. Other than that, there was a few projects that I was really excited about, and then in the last week they kind of disappeared. So I've got some unrevealed NFTs. So I've got to recover from that first before I do more.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. So let me tell you, maybe we could get PixelCanz here on YouTube with us. Maybe you.
I'm sure. I've already chatted to him. He's keen, and I'd like to see his face as well.
Yeah.
Dox him a bit.
Yeah. Well, let's get him on here, and then we can get all of us on here together, right? We can do a kind of a check-in show every couple of weeks and just kind of see where we're all at.
You don't want to put me and him in the same room. You don't want to put me in the same room.
All right, Gavin, where can people find you? What should they be looking for? What should they be paying attention to for the AverageBOB NFT project?
Okay, yeah, awesome. So firstly, AverageBOB.co. It's our website. From there, you'll be able to find all our links and socials. We do have a Discord, as I've said. We love people on Discord, and we love the engagement. We've got poker, which I haven't done in a week. Forgive me, Mike. We've got Virtual Fisher, which is like, the best thing ever. And of course, we've got some amazing folk that like to talk conspiracy theories and just joke around. It's all about AverageBOB, bro. But you can also find us on Twitter at AverageBOB NFT, and you can find myself at Yummy Pie on Twitter.
What is that?
Yummy Pie. Yeah. That's my tag on Twitter.
Okay.
I like Yamaha and pie and put it together.
Good. We will we'll drop all that information into the show notes so that anyone watching this afterwards can get
and don't forget, we've got to register for the goldfish. We've got a free goldfish NFT. We hopefully, let's hold fingers, we're going to launch it at the end of this month. So free goldfish for everyone. There's some really cool and funky things there. So definitely come register.
I think we did register for the goldfish. Yeah,
I know one of you did. I'm not sure about the other.
I don't want to point any fingers. All right, I got some work to do tonight. All right.
But, cool.
Hey, Gavin, I don't know if you noticed, but look at your. If you look at my room in the background, that's your AverageBOB right in the background there.
Oh, that's Bob Ross. There we go. That's awesome. So the story behind Bob Ross is PixelCanz founder Mastodon. He wanted a Bob, so he went with Bob Ross, and we got a Bob Ross Bob.
Pretty cool, though. Pretty cool, I gotta say.
I love your setup of your room. I think I need to remodel just ever so slightly.
Thank you. It's been an ongoing project here in the house, just trying to spice it up a little bit.
Do you have kids, Miguel?
I do not.
That's why.
Exactly.
That's why. Yeah.
That's what. Yeah. So that's what Kevin's always telling me. He says, because you don't have kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
spot on. I had this amazing man cave. I had like model ships and the Xbox and TVs and, all sorts of cool stuff. And then he came along. And you know what the worst part is? He's 6 months old. He's not slept one night in his room. Not even a night during the day. Yeah.
Brutal. That part gets better. It gets a little better. And overall, as a parent, it doesn't ever get easier. Just gets different, right? Your problems get different.
It's different.
Every time I call Kevin, I'm like, "What are you doing?" I'm with the kids. Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah. So one day when I'm big, I'll be able to have my cool room again, I suppose.
That's right. Yeah, me too.
One day when I'm big.
Good. All right.
Good stuff, guys.
Gavin, thank you for joining us. Miguel, any closing notes?
No, I think Gavin was very clear about his project and where he's going and the future. So great chatting with you, Gavin. Thank you so much for doing this. Yeah, you were our very first guest, and you were also our very first person that spoke to us on Discord, believe it or not. Awesome. So I'm very happy that you were our very first guest here on YouTube. So looking forward to more chatting with you.
Definitely. Yeah, and I appreciate it, Miguel, Kevin. I really, really appreciate this opportunity, and won't be the last. We'll definitely do this again, I suppose.
Definitely. We wish you and Dylan best of luck on your projects, and can't wait to see what comes next. For everyone else watching, please head over to rebelants.io, join our whitelist before the pre-sale closes tonight, and then tomorrow is the general minting for 0.05. So go get your discount at 0.03 while you can. You'll get yourself a free Rebel Ant as well. That'll be airdropped starting tonight at midnight. And then otherwise, you can find us on YouTube at Rebel Ants Radio is our handle. We are on Apple Podcasts. You can go listen and review us there. We're on Spotify for the video and audio version of this. You can go listen and leave us a rating there. And we just hope to see you in our Discord and our Twitter, and appreciate everyone spending some time with us on this Sunday here. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. We'll talk to you all in the future. All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, Miguel.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.